Assalamu alaikum all. Today I'm going to be talking about how I reduce stress with my halal money. Now, dealing and managing money can be stressful, and this is something that I've definitely felt. I remember especially during my uni years, college years, not having much money and things like that. But also now as well, I've got like money coming in from my salary and things like that, and then I'm spending money and I'm just managing all of that, knowing where my money is going. It was definitely quite difficult at first. And in this video, I'll talk about how I kind of reduced that stress and some of the tips that really kind of helped me. So yeah, I just want to say welcome to Simple Muslim Money, which is all about simple halal investing and personal finance for Muslims. Now, just a quick disclaimer, everything I say is not financial advice and is purely just my opinion for entertainment and information purposes. So let me get into it. So first of all, I had a fear at looking at my balances, so my bank balances and things like that. I just used to avoid looking at them. I would kind of get paid and I'll spend money. I didn't really want to know what was going on. I mean, maybe because I was a bit worried that maybe I'll be spending too much, just too sort of frivolously. And I think another thing was that I just wasn't sure how to deal with my money. I had money coming in. I wasn't aware where the money was going and what should I be doing? How should I be managing? How should I keep track of it? And there was a really good book called Your Money, Your Life. It's really big in the financial independence kind of community. And there's a rule in there about saying having a no shame, no blame attitude to your past finance habits. Sometimes we feel really bad about it. And a lot of money is, and I know Dave Ramsey talks about it, it's 90% of it is psychology. And we have to sort of forget about the past and move on. And that kind of really helped reduce the stress. It doesn't matter what I've done in the past. I may have wasted a lot of money on, I don't know, certain clothes and things like that I would never wear today, or just going out to restaurants and things like that. Kind of really helped me kind of face up to things. And also a lot of tips, as I already mentioned, Dave Ramsey was a lot of tips helped that came from Dave Ramsey. He's like a personal finance guru. I've kind of spoken to him a lot about him on this channel. And what I really like about him is he's got this Christian sort of background. So like a lot of his advice also applies to us as Muslims. Now, the first thing I would say was like me just spending time learning about finances. And, I read some great books. There was ones that I would really recommend if you're beginning to look at these things. And I would say it's definitely The Simple Path to Wealth. I'll probably say that's one of my sort of top books I would put up there. Then say Your Money or Your Life, really kind of get to thinking about money. And also I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. These are kind of really kind of good books. You can apply the knowledge in a kind of Muslim context. Another thing I need to do, and this sort of comes from the book Simple Path to Wealth, is just get my head out of the sand, stop avoiding it. And, a lot of people do this, and just kind of remember this no shame, no blame, but also to acknowledge that, I have been hiding away from my finances. I really need to sit down and get on with it. And, and part of that was actually, as I mentioned before, just learning about finances. Okay, I don't know what to do about money. Okay, let me go out and try and learn something. So the number one rule I would say, set up a budget and keep the budget really simple. Just have your money coming in, your money going out. Maybe break it down to a few categories, but don't make it perfect. Like, don't worry about that, because there's no such thing as perfect, and it's just not going to get done. And just try and keep it as simple as possible. And this is just amazing, just seeing where your money is going. And it kind of brings me to my next tip, is that having a budget kind of gave me a clearer picture of where my money was going. Kind of really helped me see I was spending a lot of money on restaurants, especially restaurants that I didn't even like. There's something that's happening in London is you get a lot of these kind of fancy looking restaurants, but the food's not good, the service is not good. They're kind of set up purely for Instagram, it seems like. And yeah, there are like loads of them in London at the moment, like lots of halal ones as well. So yeah, definitely if you're thinking of starting a restaurant in London and making it really fancy, please focus on the food and service, and you will kill it. You will do really well. And yeah, also find other areas I could cut back on, like some subscriptions. There's some subscriptions to some supplements and things like that I just cut out. So kind of really good to do that. The next thing I did was stop using a credit card. Credit cards are so confusing. I think they did this on purpose, that you spend money and then you don't get a bill for it the month after, then it get taken out of your account for the month after that. Then you have money in your current account and you feel like you've got more money than you really have, but actually you've got this credit card debt, and you just end up like having no idea what's going on with your money. It's so confusing. So I definitely stopped using that. It's a really big thing from Dave Ramsey, and it's been amazing. Honestly, it is really, really good. I know people talk about air miles and things like that and air points, but honestly, I don't care. I think just that freedom of understanding where my money going is much better. And yeah, the next thing is probably quite obvious, is just to pay off debt and stop getting into debt. That's really important. Just like paying these debts off just kind of makes a big difference. It just feels so good. You just feel lighter as well. And now I really try not to get into any debt at all. So if we're going somewhere or doing something, like we've booked a holiday for next year, so we're going to go back to France. So it's quite easy to get to from the UK, just use the Eurotunnel. But we kind of wanted to make sure that we have the money first before we book that holiday. And it's actually really great value. So that was really good. And then another thing I've spoken about a lot on this channel is just building up an emergency fund. You just never know what emergencies come up. And trust me, they do come up. We had a problem with our roof that cost like thousands of pounds to fix. I've been made redundant from my job. So although I did get like sort of a good finance package from the company that I was leaving, however, it was still very important to have that emergency fund and knowing that, if I didn't get a job for a certain period of time, I've still got this money here that I can, keep me going and keep the family going. We had a problem with our car as well. We had this BMW. Oh my gosh, I had so many problems, honestly. Like the fuel injectors going, the solenoid, there's this thing like that. It had like a leak in the engine. I don't know what was wrong with that car. Maybe it was involved in an accident or something. Who knows? But I'm glad I got rid of that. But we had to get rid of it really quickly, and then we had to buy another car. So just things like that, just having money and stuff like that just makes a massive difference. But I definitely want to say is just give it a go. There's a bunch of tips here. I'd definitely say the number one thing is to start a budget, but that's the one that will probably make the most difference in my opinion, and definitely help me. But feel free to try the other ones as well. But just getting started and just having taking some control of your finances makes a massive difference and just feels really, really good. So that's it for now. Just want to say thanks for watching Simple Muslim Money, and if you could smash that like button, that really helps. Assalamu alaikum.